What I do is I focus specifically on Facebook, and my passion is small businesses. I've helped 5 different small businesses get started, and so I know what it's like as a small business to try and navigate and compete against the big guys. And so my passion is to help them to be able to advertise their products and get in front of customers without having to spend a fortune. Because, I mean, let's face it, when you do paid ads, you're up against some pretty big players, and it's hard to compete against them. So I found a way where we could compete as small businesses against the bigger guys. And so that's what I want to teach you today. To begin with, if y'all can scan that real quick, if you want to go to the contact form on my website, if you will put in your name, your email address, and then just put lunch in the comment box, and that will enter you into a drawing. I will do a free Facebook page review for whoever wins the drawing. And I won't just pick someone, I'll throw it into a computer program and have it pick someone at random. And then please keep your phones out and go to your company's Facebook page or your Facebook page for you as a real estate agent, so that as I'm talking about things, you can be looking at your own page and compare it. I know it's against the rules when someone's giving a speech to keep your phone out, but please keep it out and follow along that way. All right, I want to start with a little story about a client that I started just a few weeks ago. This is Water Systems of Alabama. They offer water filtration services to people all across the state, homes and businesses. They do a great job. They've been around for a very long time. Unfortunately, they were starting to struggle because they didn't have the advertising budget to compete with the bigger guys like Aqua Systems and RainSoft. They're coming in with huge marketing budgets and show up at all the shows and run commercials, and they're just doing a whole lot better than this company was with their advertising. So they tried to take advantage of Facebook. The owner of the company didn't really know what he was doing with that. He ended up sharing some personal information on the business page instead of on his personal page, and that caused more problems than helping. Their Facebook page was actually hurting their company. When I sat down with them, they had 285 followers on Facebook. Their posts were being seen by about 15 people. So they put up a picture and only 15 people would see that picture, which that's actually about the standard. For most businesses, you get about 6.5% of the people that follow your page actually see what you post. And Facebook designed it that way on purpose, but that's what was happening to them. So I started them on my strategy. It's a 1-10-10 marketing strategy. I'll explain that in a minute. Started them on that. The very first week, the first post was seen by 1,200 people instead of 15 people. Now remember, they only have 285 followers. So this is more people that don't normally follow their page that are seeing the post. The second week, it was at 4,000 people. I looked last night for this week's post, has already reached last night 10,600 people. That's after 4 weeks of working with them. They didn't pay a single dime for Facebook ads, so it's all organic. So I want to teach you how to do that same strategy for your business. A few statistics to start out with. There are 180 million US adults that use Facebook. That's 69% of the adult population in America. And we think social media is all the young kids, so there's 180 million adults doing that. 82% of them are in the 25 to 50 age bracket. And so Facebook, all the young people are going to these other ones. You can see you got Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, Twitter. The younger people are more drawn to some of those others. People that have the money and that are going to be buying houses, most of them are on Facebook, and that's what they use. Applying that locally, that means there's 600,000 adults in the Birmingham metro area, and they all access Facebook an average of 8 times a day on either their phone or their computer. They're the ones that want to spend money with businesses, and they see their businesses that they want to spend money with on Facebook. They're going into groups and asking, who knows a realtor? And they'll get 100 different replies, 100 different realtors, and they won't know which one to choose. But if they see you showing up in that same group, they'll probably choose you. All right, to compare that, according to the Pew Research Center, Back when newspapers were popular from 1940 to 2000, newspaper daily distribution was about 60 million copies. So if you take an average of two adults per home, it means they had a potential readership of 120 million. Facebook today has a 50% greater actual readership than the potential readership of newspapers. It made sense back in the day to have your stuff in the newspaper, thinking people would see it. So it makes sense to be on Facebook and be putting stuff on Facebook. If you can just get over that little 6.5% limit that Facebook puts on businesses when they show your content. So the challenge is that Facebook only shows your content to 6.4% of people. Only 3.9% of those are going to take action when they see the post. So 3.9% of that 6.4% are going to actually take action. There's a couple of solutions that are generally put out there. How many of y'all heard that you should post every single day on Facebook? Okay, that's not the best way to do it, but that's the real popular one that's out there with the DIYers and on YouTube and stuff like that. Just put a whole bunch of content out there, because if they're only showing it to 6.5% of your followers, maybe it'll be a different 6.5% every time you put something on, and eventually you'll accumulate and get all of your followers. So that's a very common proposed solution. The other thing is paid ads. That's what Facebook wants you to do. That's why they limit it to 6.5%. They want you to buy the advertising. The problem with advertising, there's 150 million businesses in America who are using paid ads on Facebook. So you're competing against a lot of people. And most of them, to be honest, most of them are going to have more money than the average small business. And they're going to have a lot more they can throw at Facebook ads and paid ads. Paid ads, I tell people they're kind of like Super Bowl ads. You get a lot of money back if you can run a Super Bowl ad, but it costs a lot of money to run that ad. And so paid advertising, if you put a lot of money into it, you can get some really good results. And it's one of the highest ROIs you can get in all of advertising in the world right now. But you have to throw a lot of money into it. And all the businesses that I started, we never had money to throw into any marketing whatsoever, much less competing with paid ads. All right, so my clients are seeing an average of 300% of their page followers are seeing what they post. So that's the average. Some of them are a lot more, some of them are a lot less, but on average, it's about 300% of their page followers. So that means 100% of the people following their page are seeing it, and then 2 people for every 1 follower that doesn't follow them is also seeing what they post on Facebook. And I call my solution the 1-10-10 strategy, just to make it easy. These numbers can be, well, the second 2 numbers can be flexible. The first one is essential, so that's 1 post every week. And then with that post, you want that post to consist of at least 10 photos or somewhere around 10 or more photos. And then you want to share that in 10 or more groups. So 1 post per week, 10 photos per post, shared in 10 or more groups. Now, why those numbers? The 1 post per week. The key to this whole thing is sharing in groups. Well, most groups have a rule saying that businesses can only share 1 post a week. So you can put more than 1 post a week on your Facebook page, but you can only share 1 post per week in the groups. So to me, as the person that would be doing the work for my clients, I don't want to do extra work that doesn't really generate a whole lot. So I limit it, in my case, to just 1 post. Now I have one client, it's an art gallery, Griffith Art Gallery, and I do their 1 post per week that I share in all the groups. And then they post like 5 times a day on top of that, because they just like Facebook and they like posting stuff. And that's perfectly fine, they can do that. But yeah, that 1 post per week, the reason I have that is because the group's limiting it to 1 post per week. The reason for the 10 pictures per post is to get people's attention. Y'all heard the phrase, stop the scroll? That's what everyone wants to do in marketing, is stop people from just scrolling through their phone and have them pause. Okay. If you put more than 5 photos in a post on Facebook, it will put up that little plus however many at the bottom. that creates a mystery. And psychologically, humans are designed that we want to solve mysteries. And so when we see that mystery there, what's behind that number 4 in this case? We want to click on it or tap on it, see what's there. And so it gives them a mystery. It also gives them the solution to the mystery right away. And it's easy. They solve it. They tap on it. They open up the next one. Now, as soon as they tap on that and open up the next page, and it goes big like that, Facebook says that's an interaction. And they take your post and they give it a free boost in the algorithm because someone clicked on your post. You stopped people from scrolling. And Facebook wants that because most businesses are posting links. And when you tap a link, it takes you away from Facebook, which means Facebook is no longer getting advertising dollars from that person that was scrolling. And so they're not getting advertising dollars, so they lower the amount of people that see that post. But with yours, when they tap on it, now the people are more invested, they're spending more time on Facebook, Facebook gets more advertising dollars, so they want to show your post to more people, so more people will tap it and stay on Facebook longer. And so you're forcing the algorithm to work for you instead of against you by putting up a collection of about 10 or so photos. And this is absurdly easy for real estate agents because y'all already have the photos of every single room of the house going through. So you just throw them all up in one post. And then the people will go to the next photo, and they'll go to the next photo, go to the next photo. Each time they go to the next photo or scroll up, every time they either touch their screen or click a mouse button, Facebook boosts your post that much more. So that's one of the keys to getting a lot of views on your post. Now, as they're going through this, the photo stream, they'll eventually come to the end, and if you just have the last photo be the last picture of the house, they'll come to the end and then they'll keep going and it will go back to the beginning. And a lot of times they'll get frustrated because where's the end of this cycle? It just keeps going and going and going. Now on the phone, it doesn't do that. You scroll and it hits the end and it kind of bounces. But on a computer, it'll do it. So what I've started doing is putting a branded photo as the last picture in that collection. So you're creating a collection of photos. The very last one will have your brand information on it. And you could say something like, thank you for looking, or it could just be just the business card or something along those lines. Let's see, let me pull up one. Sort of the other screen. This is one I created for one of my other clients. Did that for Maggie Glass. So that's her branded photo at the end of her slideshow. And every week, this picture can change, or it can stay the same. But this picture over on this side can be changed, and you just keep this part the same, and just throw it in at the end of every single stream, or every single collection. That also, when they come to the end and they see your branded information, your contact info, that also gets them, as soon as they are ready to buy, they have your contact info right there. That's why at the end of every single commercial, they always put up a screen with the contact info for the company that paid for the commercial. All right, so that's the 10 photos, and why to do the 10 photos. Now the 10 groups. The groups that I recommend are all the What's Happening groups. You can just go to the search bar on Facebook, search in What's Happening, hit enter, and it will bring up a big long list of groups that start with What's Happening. And there are a lot of them out there. I have a list. If y'all signed up with for the drawing, one of the things I'll reply to you with is a list of recommended groups all across the state that I have already vetted. I know they're friendly to business. It will have the dates that they recommend posting on, so I'll just send that to all of y'all as a thank you for being here. But you search for the groups, join the groups. When you're looking at joining groups, you want to read their rules. The ones I'm going to send you, I've already read the rules, but you want to tap on the name of the group or click on the name of the group and go to the About section and read the rules. Make sure they're friendly toward businesses. There are a lot out there that say we don't want any businesses posting in our group, and then there are others saying you can post one time a year. So it's not quite that, but some of them are pretty restrictive. So always read the rules just to make sure that you have a group that's friendly to businesses. And what I always get asked when I'm talking to people about Facebook is, what about video? Isn't video better? Should we be posting more videos? And the answer is it depends. Videos can perform better than individual photos. So if you're normally just putting up one picture at a time, or if you're putting up a link, videos perform better than links. When it comes to collections of photos, depending on how long the collection is and what the subject matter is, the collection of photos could do better, or the video could do better. It's really a toss-up between them. And the collections of photos are a whole lot easier to put it together than a video is. So I recommend staying with a collection of photos. And then I think the collection of photos psychologically causes the person to be more invested in your business than a video does. A video, they're just sitting back and letting it play. They may not even be paying any attention. But a collection of photos, they're actively moving to the next photo. And that interaction causes people to be more vested in your business. And so I think that helps. I think that tips the collection over toward the side of preference. Now, when you're taking your photos, make sure that you do landscape rather than portrait mode. Most people, when they're taking pictures with their phone is vertical, and so they hold it up and they just tap on their phone. Turn the phone sideways and take the picture sideways. The reason for that, we perceive the world horizontally. We don't perceive the world vertically. Our eyes are side by side. We don't have an eye on top and an eye on the bottom. They're side by side. And so when we look at a horizontal picture, we think something's being kept from us. And so it gets that little bit of agitation. Now, when you have a horizontal picture of a person, like a portrait that's on the wall, that's intentional to create that idea of we're removing the distraction and making you focus just on this one person. And so they're using that psychological response to their advantage. But when you're showing something you want someone to buy, it's better for them to be just happy and see that you're showing them everything rather than to think that you're keeping something from them. Maybe you're not showing that corner of the bathroom that's got mold in it or something. Just keep it wide and let them see everything. And that will do a lot better. You want to take your pictures, put them in a folder on your computer, and number them in that folder. Rename them with number 1, number 2, number 3. That way you're guaranteed that they're in the order you want them to be on for the customer to scroll through. And so if you're doing a virtual tour, I don't know how many times I've seen virtual tours online, or not the video ones, but the photo collections of pictures in a house, and you can't tell which room you're in. It's just, okay, is this still the same room? All right, let me see. There's a scratch that goes halfway over here, and there's a scratch. Okay, I'm still in the same room. And so a lot of that is just from laziness. The realtor that put up just threw up a bunch of pictures and didn't take time to think through the order of the person that was going to be viewing it. So put a little thought into it, think through the order, number them to make sure they're in order before you ever put them on Facebook. Now, when you get them on Facebook, you can edit the post, you can rearrange the order. It's just more work to do it that way. It's a lot easier to do it beforehand. And then you'll notice the very last picture, that's that branded picture. I put that as a ZZ. That way I can just copy and paste that to any folder, and it's always going to be at the end of the folder. So that way it's just a little hack that I use for myself, so I never get that picture in the middle of the screen of pictures. When you get your pictures over to Facebook, you can hover over the post. You throw it into the post, and you'll see just a few pictures right there. And it has a place for you to put your text for the post. If you hover over one of the pictures, it'll pop up a little thing that says Edit. And if you click on the Edit button, that gives you to this screen where you can put individual captions on each picture before you post it to Facebook. And that way you don't have to go in afterward and put up a caption underneath one. I do this for my parents. They have a thrift store over in Centerpoint. And at first, I didn't realize you could do this before posting it to Facebook. And so I would put the post up, and none of the pictures had captions. And I'm going through one at a time, editing 30 pictures, trying to put the price for each item in their thrift store. And I'm just getting bombarded with people commenting. how much is this? How much is this? How much is this? Give me a minute, let me put the price. And then I figured out, oh, I could just edit it and I could put the caption underneath. And before anyone sees it, I already have all the captions and all the prices.
So you can just do that in your photo storage?
Right, well, you can do it once it's on the post on Facebook. Before you hit post at the bottom, then you just hover over the pictures and
Okay.
it puts up an edit. It also gives you an option to add a photo there. When you hover over the picture, it'll have an option to add photos. So if you forgot to include something, you can click on that and add more photos to your post.
Is there a way, in the MLS, our photos I put captions under all my photos. Is there a way to move all that to a file where it's all done?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I do not know of any software that will do that for you
okay.
personally. Of course, I'm not a realtor. Maybe someone ingenious in the real estate industry has already come up with that. All right, so this what do you do if you don't have pictures that you can put up? I know sometimes an agent won't have a new house that they've listed that week. So what do? Put up an infographic. And so you can take information, little tips. So in this case, 7 tips for new homeowners. Put each of those tips on a different picture, on a different graphic, and the people will scroll through those graphics in order to read all of the tips.
So do 7 graphics.
7 graphics, yep.
Do you still recommend sharing that to groups? as
Sharing
well?
that to the group too, because people will want to see that and read through those tips. And your whole goal here is to get more views so that your page gets bumped up in the Facebook algorithm. So you still share this into the groups.
From all these posts that I do like that, even 7 tips for new homeowners and send it out, it's not getting the views at all it needs to, because it's just one
Right.
post, one picture.
Right. Let me pull this over here to this screen. All right, so this is one that I did for Water Systems of Alabama. All of theirs, I just do the helpful tips because no one wants to see a dozen pictures of a water filter.
Yeah.
So I just do tips for those. So I created the tips here. So the dangers of hard water, and tell them I'm going to give you 7 reasons why you need a water filter, and then each one is a different reason to get a water filter.
Is that what did you make that on?
I do mine on Photoshop. You could also do it on Canva. Canva is free, Photoshop is not. So most people use Canva. All right, and something else to keep in mind as you're doing this. Oh, forgot to mention, when you create your post, you should always include contact info in the text of the post. So put your phone number. If you have your phone number in Facebook, when you put a post, it will put up a prompt and ask, do you want to include a call now button with your post? Always say yes and include that call now button. It just throws a call now at the bottom of the post when people are scrolling through. Yep, and they can tap that button and it immediately goes to their phone dialer on their phone and they can call you.
How do you do that?
You have to have your phone number on your Facebook account as a contact thing, and then put your phone number in the text of the post.
Okay,
And then when you click on post, it will ask if you want to include a call now button on your post.
so if in Facebook I don't have my phone number attached to my account,
Right,
then it won't do that.
right.
If I do, then it will automatically do that. That's cool.
Yep.
I think
Well, let me ask you this. If she has her personal and then she has her business one, and realtors have to do the same thing. If her personal has been registered with her cell phone number already.
personal Facebook and a business Facebook, not phone number.
Okay.
So can she put her phone number, register that with the business one as well?
Yes,
Okay, I was thinking it wouldn't allow you to have 2 accounts with the same phone number.
well, it allowed me, so.
Okay, cool.
It may, in fact, it has allowed me to have 3 or 4 accounts with the same phone number.
So that's when you type in your number on a post.
Right, if you type it in on a post, and then I always have the number also and the contact information on the about page.
It'll ask for a
So
small
we're a
amount.
team. So I wonder how that, like it would just have to be one of our phone numbers.
Right.
Okay.
And you can, one of the things that I do with my business is instead of using my personal cell phone number as the business number, I have a Google Voice number.
Right, we have that option.
Yeah.
We can do that. I didn't use that number for our website.
I've been real happy with Google Voice.
And then you just have to.
Google Voice.
Yes, Google Voice lets you create a virtual number, and you can either have it as a separate
Then,
app
like,
on
it
your
have an
phone,
option,
or you can
yeah.
have it
Yeah.
forward
Okay,
to another
yeah.
number automatically. All right, another very important thing with Facebook posts is that you reply to every single comment. Now, these comments, you can see there's no reply, but you got that little thumbs up. This is the art gallery, and they went through, and they're very good at this. They go through and they put like on every single comment.
So like is good enough. You don't
Like
have
is
to
good
comment.
enough. You just have to do something to show Facebook, hey, I am paying attention to these comments. Facebook will downgrade your page in the algorithm if you do not reply or like the comments. Now, sometimes you'll get negative comments, and I've had lots of clients ask me about this, what do you do with it? It's just like in life, if you have a customer that's, pain in the neck, then don't deal with them. Go get a different customer, Tell them we're not the right place for you. So in Facebook, if someone's complaining on your page or leaving comments that are negative comments, you can reply kindly and then block them.
Yeah.
And they'll never see any more of your posts. They're not likely to be a customer if they're saying, what in the world is this business doing advertising in my town? They're not likely to be a customer. So just reply kindly for everyone that happens to come across that, and then block them so they never see any other posts. And then you don't have to worry about them. All right, the top of the page for your Facebook page itself, one of the things you want to make sure you do is choose a good cover photo. This is my page, Thornton Marketing. You want to make sure that you choose a good cover photo. That's the photo that goes all the way across. That is your first impression that people give your business. I was with a business yesterday, helping them with their page, and their cover photo, all you could see is the parking lot of their building. That was it. And they had this big, vertical picture that had the whole building in it. And when they threw it on Facebook, all that Facebook saw was that little section. It was just the parking lot. And so it wasn't doing them any good. It made their page look kind of tacky. So just pick a nice picture and throw it up there. I think it's worth investing in paying someone to create a custom cover photo for your page because it's that important when people go there. Did I hear a question?
Well, I've noticed on a personal Facebook, people have that top photo, and usually it's half. Is that what's happened? They had a good photo, but when they posted it, it took it out of whack.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can download templates that are the right size for that, and then you can put your photo on that template and make sure it all lines up correctly if you want to go through that. Or you can find someone on Fiverr, pay them $15, and they do it for you. All right, now for your profile picture, that is the F that's down here. For the profile picture, use a logo. A lot of people will take a picture like I saw someplace recently with a landscaping company, and they had a nice picture of some landscaping they had done, and they had that as their picture that's right here. The problem with that is this picture gets really small in some places on Facebook. And if it's a picture of landscaping, no one can tell what it is. And so they don't know who that is that's next to that picture.
Well, most of us do photos that are 30 years old,
Yeah.
or 20 pounds old or something.
Yeah.
But we do, I know that I have my face
Yes.
on there.
Now for
instead.
personal brands,
Yeah.
the face works very well. So for y'all as real estate agents, if you have a nice headshot, you can put that there as well.
That's not 30 years old.
Yeah, make sure it's recognizable. People know it's you.
Yeah.
All right, and then you have the call to action button. That's this over here, the call now. Facebook allows you to have a call to action button for your business page. And so you want to have that as something that you actually check. I've seen a lot of people have the default as message because that keeps people on Facebook Messenger, and that's what Facebook wants. Well, if you never check your Facebook messages, then you don't want to have that just as the default message. If you want people to call you, change that call to action button to a call now button. And there's a setting, we go into the settings on the left-hand side of the page and set up the settings for your page. There's an option for a call to action button. So you can set that up the way you need it. All right, in the About section on your Facebook page, Facebook will show a little intro section. As people come to your page and they scroll down, they see an intro section, and that gives some helpful information about your business. You want to make sure you have a brief description for your intro. For some reason, a little while back, a lot of Facebook gurus were saying that in your intro section, just throw up a bunch of keywords. There's not really any point in using keywords there. So just make it something that sounds nice, that looks nice. Facebook gives you like 200 characters that you could use there. I've seen a lot of places where their intro section, what they're saying gets cut off right in the middle of a word because they had too long of a statement there. So just double check that on yours, make sure it's the right length. It's something nice about your business. This intro is also what shows up next to your company in the searches. So if someone is searching for a realtor on Facebook and it pulls up a list of realty pages, whatever's in that intro section is what will show up next to your name in that search. Now, periodically, you want to check your categories to make sure you're listed for all the categories that apply to your business. Facebook allows you to choose up to 3 categories. Now, I don't know that y'all would ever need 3 categories as real estate agents, but some businesses have multiple categories. That's right here where it says page and advertising marketing is what I have for mine. So just check that every now and then, make sure that your categories are listed correctly. Every now and then, Facebook will change category options, and they may take away the one that you're listed as, maybe reword it a little bit differently next time, so just periodically check on that. Make sure that you have either your address or your service areas listed. That will help people figure out where you are, and I don't have it on mine right now, which I don't know why. I think it's because my page was so new. When I tried to do it, they wouldn't let me put my address or service areas on there. But I'll go back and try in a month or 2 and see what happens. Phone number is very important. Most of the people that shop from Facebook, they would prefer to call. They're scrolling through Facebook on their phone, and they prefer to just call and talk to someone rather than message, and they may or may not get a reply. So it's very important to have your phone number on your Facebook page. Include your website, and if you have your website, if you have multiple websites, try to limit it to just one. Just choose whichever website you most want people to go to and put that up there. Facebook will let you put up a whole bunch of them, but it's just more confusing to the customer. Just make it easy for them, give them one website. And turn on and ask for and monitor reviews. Facebook, by default, has reviews turned on. You see I don't have any reviews left on my page at the time I took that screenshot. So by default, they have reviews turned on, and people can leave reviews. You want to make sure that's on for you if you haven't turned it off at some point in the past. You want to ask for reviews on Facebook, so people actually leave reviews. But you also want to monitor that. There are a lot of scammers out there that leave scam reviews. And most of them,
I just saw
I have one too that's not for me. And I'm like, what?
realized.
so you can report those and block them. And I don't think Facebook currently allows you to remove them, but if you report it and block it, Facebook is supposed to go through and investigate it and then remove it. And I've had them do that for several in the past.
I was like, I'm thinking like, what, they aren't real.
Yeah. So always check your reviews periodically. And speaking of reviews, you can create a QR code. And this one actually goes to my Facebook page. If you want to scan it, go and leave me a review at some point, that would be great. But you can create a QR code that goes to the review page of your Facebook page, of your Facebook account. You can put that QR code on your print advertising. You can put it on your letters for thank you for closed business. You can put it on your cards. If you have a physical register somewhere, you can put it next to the register where people are paying. And it's a QR code is just very easy for people to use to leave you a review. It makes it very simple for the customer.
And that's on just a regular, like you post that on your page regularly?
Well, I put it on print material,
Oh, okay.
and that way people can just scan it with their
Oh,
phone.
I see.
And they
then
go
once
there.
it's to that- Okay.
Does anyone not know what a QR code is?
You,
Someone knows what a QR code is?
you don't put it on Facebook, you put it on print
I'll put it
material.
on print material, yes. And I'll put it on slides like this. So people
I have
can
no clue how
scan
you
it.
create one.
How do you
All
generate?
I recommend going to a website called tiny.cc. So TINY.cc. And if you sign up for an account there, it's free. And what they're actually, the website there is for creating short versions of very long web addresses. But you can take that web address, throw it in there, create a short version, and then it has an option to create a QR code for that short web address. The reason I like them is that they'll track how many people use that QR code.
Mm.
And so you can see how well it's performing for you.